Welcome all to another webinar with Social Hacks Academy. Today we have the luck to talk with Imed. Imed, I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself in a sec. Before that, I would like to acknowledge all our participants so far. I'm sorry if I butcher some of the pronunciation. It's kind of hard sometimes. So Amar, Asilia, Athina, Aya, Yorgo, Erol, Hermes, Ioana, Lori, Neil, Slim, Stella, Yusuf, Zach, and everyone else who will who will come in later or will watch this webinar in our YouTube channel. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us. I don't want to keep you waiting. Imed says, hey all. Athena the same. So yeah, let's do it. Imed, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, hi everybody. To represent myself, like as a professional, I am actually an engineer in computer engineering. Though I've passed through a lot of like kind of computer engineering such as mechatronics, electronics, but now actually I'm more a developer. I'm like 100% developer, project manager also in the same time. So yeah, I am 38 years old. I don't know if that will be that interesting, but I live in Italy, but I've been like traveling out of my original country of origin since like 4 years. And this will answer a question to Damien later. How come I speak a little bit of Greek? So because my experience and my trip, let's say my adventure, started in Athens. The shine in Athens. Maybe I touched a little bit of philosophy on its old city. That's how I got.
We're all up for a bit of philosophy.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and now I got my own project. Let's not classify it, but let's say it's startup. It's kind of mm, uh, startup. That's what I wanted it to be, because I always try to have more programs, more plans for the future, um, and that's it. Well, that's why I am a digital nomad, like 100%
Nice.
digital nomad as professional experience for now. Though I worked with a big company, big techs such as I have Hewlett Packard, HP, Norton, OVH. It's a big hosting server in France. But I think that the way I see life, the way I see the future, is more a way. I mean, we need to be more sustainable. So maybe we need to change ourselves to be that sustainable person, so we can find our path, our way. And maybe I found mine, I hope. Just cross fingers.
Great, great. Very nice. So let's jump right in. I'm looking forward to your story then. Like, where did you start from? How did you start your trip from 4 years old? Tell your story.
In fact, it was not from 4 years old. I wanted to say it's since 4 years, maybe ago. Yeah,
Sorry. Okay.
so it's
Okay.
more recent.
So, okay, yeah. So it's 4 years ago, not
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Sorry. Then maybe it's a lacune, language lacune, since English is my
Yeah.
fifth, sixth language, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, speak a lot of language. So I need to have a pause in my head. So I choose the
Yeah.
the right
So,
word.
Social Hackers Academy is also 4 years old. So we kind of started our trips around the same time.
Nice, nice. That's cool. That's not cool to know. So yeah, I started this trip like from Athens after leaving a job, like the 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week job, willing to just like change this 10 years bullying circle that I've been like working, not working, waking up the morning, not waking up. So uh, like stability, problems of social and economical issues that facing everyone of our age. I mean, by our age, I meant the millennials, those who are who were born between the 80 and 90s, maybe 70 and 90s. Maybe we're gonna speak about them later. So yeah, and the challenge was to be autonomous and self-sufficient without being under the control of either a big tech or just a company that wants you to do that routinical job on which you're gonna become more and more, uh, let's not say stupid, but robotic. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I was in that circle of reflection because I divide my time professionally also between reflecting and doing or practicing. So I had this month of reflection. I thought a lot about just dropping IT experience and go follow my music, cinema hobbies. But
Okay.
yeah, but then I decided that maybe I have first the choice, but also a mode to change it, to change what my life was like. And I started that experience, like just using a computer, a mouse, and Wi-Fi. And yeah, after 3 years, I compiled all of this experience I've got into one little project, which is mine, which is giving me all the time, even to take my dogs and walk them out at 10 in the morning without needing to prove to somebody that I'm there or to be
Yeah,
there physically.
that's definitely a really good feeling. Just for me to understand, so you started becoming an engineer 4 years ago because you were facing socio-economic challenges,
Uh,
or you were a developer before that also?
exactly. A good question.
How many years? Take me a bit like in your 18, 20s or something like that.
Mhm.
Did you study engineering? Did you learn coding on your own? What was that? What did that look like? Your
Yeah.
trip towards becoming an engineer.
Okay, that's a good question because I got my high school baccalaureate, it's in French and also in North African, but high school diploma in 2002. So I had, after that, like 6 years of engineering. So I am like my diploma, I got the engineer diploma in computer networking. So it was more like infrastructure of servers, of the infrastructure of the network itself. Uh, but since for all the precautions of engineering, you need to study and know uh, programming languages. So it was a kind of hobby. Even programming was kind of hobby until 4 years before I started like building my uh, programming, let's say, startup. So yeah, programming was or have been a part of my studies, but let's say never been a part of my professional path before becoming a digital.
I see. So you were a hacker, you understood how networks and operating systems worked and the architecture in general. And at some point, you decided to go all in and become an engineer and also get a monetary value from that. This is what I
Exactly.
understood. Yes,
Yeah.
great. So what did make that change? What made that change to your attitude or to your mindset? Because from a hobby, it's very different, to turn your hobby into a career, which you might get bored at some point, or I don't know, maybe it's not what you wanted. So what was that turning point? What happened there?
Well, let, I'm gonna say it like very clear, and that was exactly the changing point. I was um, I was without work in Athens. I was trying to fill my time by learning Python. So until I finished it took me, let's say, 2 weeks to just got everything. I started building like a very stupid game. I succeeded. I was very happy to build that game that I was like, yeah, why not start a career in developing? And boom, I'm here.
That's great. Okay. And what was your path like? Did you go through a boot camp? Did you learn on your own? Did you follow YouTube channels, a MOOC, maybe on Coursera? What, like, how did you learn? Yeah, let's start with how did you learn?
Um, all of that, Damien.
Okay.
In reality, it was like a lot of things that I went inside a lot of strategies, like doing some courses and then doing some exercise and then training myself and then testing what I learned and then watching YouTube channels and then asking question on the IT social medias, as I call them, having answers, facing problems, and then starting by getting projects like that I do for my with my own, and then I like did a lot of errors, and then learned from those
Prim
errors.
Primarily errors, I assume.
Yeah,
Mostly,
absolutely,
mostly errors.
mostly
Yeah.
exactly. And then like I knocked my head a lot on on wall after discovering the little thing that went wrong in the whole. Well, yeah, we're kind of understand each other. But I mean, so yeah, it's basically everything. I mean, we don't use all the sources that we have online or physically. I mean, physically as friends, as engineers, to ask them, to send them messages on how to do that, or maybe to how to have a vision about something, about program or about project. Uh, 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 yeah, that's interactivity that I was mentioning before the meeting with you, Damien. So yeah, by interactivity with the sources that I have, my computer, the internet in general, but also with friends, friends like virtually or real friends, because what I call the IT social media, you don't know people, but you get the help, and you get not just one answer or one solution. You get a lot, and also from those solutions, you may understand or you may find other solutions for other problems that you faced before. And yeah, that good interactivity between a human machine human is what made me learn programming.
Yeah, we have a comment, actually two comments from Nick, who says you're absolutely right on something you said before, that being independent and self-reliant helps you grow. It gives you the opportunity to grow. And he mentions that this is stepping out of the matrix. And
Connecting.
Slim and Slim says definitely a lot of help and resource online for devs. The community is amazing. Really, really, the community is really incredible. So, how long did it take you from your decision to become a dev and get paid for it until you landed your first big project as a freelancer or your first job?
Okay, maybe the answer for the biggest, the like landing the first big project was after about 5 months, because I was landing other little tasks, what we call the economy gigs. We're gonna
Mhm.
also speak about that later. Yeah, I was landing those kind of little jobs before, like through learning. I mean, while I was learning, I was trying to find the like tasks, reality more than jobs tasks, so I can evaluate myself, so I can evaluate what I've learned, and then so I can do some money to live. That's obviously. But the first
Of
big
course.
project, it was like after 5 to 6 months. Yeah, it
It
took.
was it was pretty quick.
I hope. I hope. For me it was not. It was a little. No, let's face it. Yeah, now that I see it back, yeah, it was very quick, but also because I put a lot of cerebral energy, and I'm not.
How many hours would you say you were investing in your future self at that time?
I really cannot say, Damien, really, because I remember those days on which I didn't slept for 48 hours and more. I really don't remember. So maybe first 6 months it was like 25 hours per day. I hope that the day was longer, but then, and typically then, like this is what you learn from being autonomous, is how to be more and more like sufficient. That's the word. Sufficient means the time you put yourself on the computer needs to be 130% sufficient. Like you do what you need to do in 8 hours, you do it in 6 hours, and then little by little
Mm.
you start to just uh, make that shorter. I mean, which uh, in fact, I mean the number of hours in like the numbers, the professional or the number of hours that you put for work in a week. Now I arrived at 25 hours per week, and this is very sufficient. Really, after let's say 4 years, it's very sufficient to be economically autonomous, but also mentally autonomous because the work is not just about uh, doing a job to have money. It's also a state of mind. It's also like to be tranquil in your personality, to be also tranquil in your relationship. And by relationship, I mean the one that is very like your relationship with your lover, without genderification, and your relationship between your friends, family, and then relationship between the nature, between you and time, because sorry, but 40 hours a week, let's say we are in this society, in this world, in this also um, technology development, that maybe one day we're gonna make just robots working for us, while us planting trees and enjoying time under a sunny day. Yeah.
I am really looking forward to that, Imed. I'll be the first one there.
I'm fighting,
First
Damien.
one, I'll
I'm
be the
fighting.
first one philosophizing. My dream about that is to go back to Pnyx. Pnyx is like the place where the ancient philosophers used to give speeches, and that's where I will be. I don't know. Where will you be at that time? Will you be planting the trees as you mentioned?
Yeah, I will be doing permaculture. That's my uh,
Cool.
or
Cool.
that. Oh, I have in reality, I have another dream, which is uh, more like something that I want to do once, which is passing the Atlantic from maybe Spain to Brazil by boat by myself, and
Okay.
then I will become the agriculture that I always wanted.
Okay, okay, Imed, I think we took a wrong turn. Lovely turn for me. I'd love to talk about abundance and mindset, but let's go back a bit because also we have a couple of questions. Selena says, "Hello, ninjas. Did you ever felt ready for this big project? Like for real? Like, did you really like it? Said, like, I'm ready for it."
Uh, yeah, uh, that sorry, because those kind of questions are very like I've never asked them to myself. I've never been
Mhm,
asked
mhm.
those kind of question by others. So also for myself, I've never asked myself if it like if I was ready for this big change in my life. Uh,
Maybe a feeling, maybe a
uh,
feeling.
what I wanted to say, Damien, is like I doubted a lot, and that's in a way doubting yourself. In a way, is asking yourself, "Are you ready?" So yeah, I doubted myself. I still doubt myself, which is not a big issue if you see it as uh, doubting yourself means that you want more from yourself. You want to progress, like you want to do progress, you want to do mental progress, like physical progress, you want a social progress. So doubting yourself mm, made me always like uh, willing to just stop everything. But but after the 3 first months, when I started really like knowing what I was doing, like knowing what I was studying, knowing where I was going, that's when I think that I decided that yeah, I am ready for this. Let's Imed, hand in hands, and let's do it.
That's amazing. So you mentioned uh, you mentioned that you have a presentation. Would you like
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
share? And Selena, in the meantime, the person who asked the question before, she says, "I think you totally answered." It's like saying, "Go for it," even while doubting yourself. Yeah, it's doubt is always there. It never
Absolutely.
goes.
Uh,
And sorry, Slim mentions that when it's most scary to jump, that's exactly when you should jump.
Absolutely, Slim. Well, I don't know if you know, but Slim is one of my best friends, and
I didn't know.
yeah, and I really maybe like hiddenly thank Slim for many things, for many jumps I did in my life. So yeah, Slim, it's when you think that you cannot do it, it's that is the right time to do it.
Cool, cool. So would you like to share your presentation? Is that,
Absolutely. Let me
yeah,
just share my screen. So you need to give me the access, please, Damian.
ah, okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, give me a sec to see how can I do that because, ah, yes, now you can do it, I think.
Perfect. So second screen. So today we're gonna be speaking about digital nomad. No, I'm kidding. I just like
That was
word
like,
art. I really like word art. Well, for those who didn't hear the before colloque discussion, I really hate I hate presentations. but I like for that. I like I like those.
Yes, it's not 1995. It's not Windows 95.
Yeah, it's even XP. Don't worry. I did it like because it's hidden here. It's
Okay, okay,
yeah.
cool. Go for it.
Mm, So yeah, as everybody who's here know that the presentation will be to present what I do. I mean, present the way I choose my professional path, which is being a digital nomad. So digital nomad, it's as a word literally means somebody who works in the digital and that is nomad in the same time. Um, like nomad in the way of saying that he is not fixed physically, but also he can be fixed for some time and then just keep changing the uh, changing his home, what we call between parentheses home. Uh, but let's get back to what is a digital nomad. As Investopedia explained, is digital nomads are the people who are location independent and they use technology to perform their jobs, which means uh, performing their task as a professional and living while living a nomadic lifestyle. As I said before, it doesn't mean that we need to be like in movement every day because one day we're gonna just exhaust every physical energy and we're not gonna be capable to finish the trip, the adventure, and that's why nomadic lifestyle means liberty to choose if you want to stay or if you want to go. That's it. uh, so the digital nomad, it's the free worker in the digital world. Okay. And digital nomads, they work remotely, telecommuting, like um, doing their community with tele, as you know, is to say remotely, rather than being physically present at a company's headquarters or office. And as we all know, we passed through this hard time of pandemic time after March of the last year. Everything was closed and suddenly everything collapsed. Economic, like the economy, the socially a little bit because we started being more individual, singular in a way of sanitary need. uh, but also companies, they started to understand that the old-fashioned way of working, being at the physically present, as they explain at Investopedia, physically present is like a barrier, a limit between them and making profits. And that's why if we go, for example, we go for to see that this is a very good example. If you want to see on Google Trends, the digital nomad word, how it started to change, like to rise, we're gonna see that glitch here, which made by Mr. COVID. So yeah, uh, uh, um, so that is a digital nomad as like a journalist by the point of view of a journalist. But what, in fact, digital nomad as word, how did it came? I mean, how did it came to become as like as a term to identify the people that that are autonomous, dependent, and work far from their house. In fact, digital nomad came from the book. The book's name is Digital Nomad. Let me show you the book, and it was written on the 1997. It's a real good book for those who are like me, loves book. Um, it was written by a famous Japanese um, engineer also, but he is the creator. If there is people present that knows a little bit about electronics, he is the one that created the CMOS, which is the version of the microprocessors that you are using in computers um, in photo in numerical photography, uh, especially. I'm trying to find the book on eBay, but I cannot find it.
It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So yeah, I was saying that the book Digital Nomad was written by the big David Manners. He's a British writer, and the Japanese scientist Sugio Makimoto. Uh, uh, a- and since that day, the word digital nomad was like took by uh, also by journalists, by economics, but also by sociologue, because uh, this year I read this book, The Future, Building the Future, by Paul Mason, and he mentioned the digital nomad as also the ecological future. It's weird, yeah, it's weird to understand that changing our way, the way of working, the classic way, how much it can affect the nature. Let's just get back to the pandemic, the big pictures and videos about fish coming back to Venice, birds that are flying for free again. So yeah, it's limiting the nonsense movements of people may resolve a lot of ecological problems. So the digital nomad, what does mean digital nomad? In fact, digital nomad lifestyle, it it was made possible also, let's not forget, by the technological development. So like through several innovations, including the content management softwares, cheap internet access and Wi-Fi, but also 4G everywhere, smartphones, VoIPs to contact clients and employers, and in addition to the digital nomadism, the growth of gig economy has played a big role. So, what is the gig economy? I just like scotched something here for those who knows what is it. Then they're gonna absolutely know what is a gig economy. So, for those who does not know Fiverr is an online platform. That's Fiverr. It's an online platform which makes you propose services for people, like to propose services as an independent for people, but especially in the IT world, in marketing, SEO, web development, and a lot of more, but also web development, Android development, the AI and music a little bit. But yeah, that's Fiverr. So what is the gig economy? The gig economy is they are temporary, that's the right word, and flexible jobs, and they are there are a lot of commonplace and companies that are tending to hire more independent contractors, like they more create a gig, a task to be done as a little project, and to have a contractor or freelancer to do it, and that's it, that's done. This is like a kind of win-win thing, because with a gig, like a gig job, you're not there at the position. I mean, you're not that there at the office. You're not a part of the whole project. You're not a part of the company. You're just a contractor. Like you are labor, and there are like what are the key takeaways to know about the gig economy. Uh, the gig economy is based, as I said, on flexible, temporary, or freelance jobs, often involving connecting with clients or customers through an online platform. As we saw, Fiverr, there are a lot of other platforms like Freelancer, Upwork, people that are using like those are the trending platforms for the 10 million uh, actual digital nomad. And the gig economy, it will benefit workers, businesses in all the ways, and consumers, but by making the work more adaptable. That's when I said that the project will be just divided by tasks, and every task will be delivered to a freelancer as a uh, gig job, and there is no need, there is no time pressure, there is no need to be a part of the company, which means HR things, and it's more more flexible on where to do it, how to do it, your reflections, but doesn't mean that you will just I don't know, disappear or not understand what the company, the business needs. It needs more from you. It needs to develop an auto manager, let's say, in your head, so you can deliver the work, because we are speaking about internet, and also we are speaking about jobs. Delivering job to a freelancer needs a lot of trust, a trust from the business owner. So our point of trust on the internet are the reviews, the starring model of how to trust someone. To trust someone, you need to go and see the experience with others, with that person, and what they've said about him, about delivering his job. So uh, uh, that's where I said that you need to develop maybe a project manager in your head, and a manager in a way, okay? But at the same time, the gig economy can have downsides, uh, which is almostly due to the erosion of traditional economic relationships between workers, business, and clients. That also in this part, I may also speak about trust, about the new explanation, the new way of trusting the others, especially on internet, but especially with people you cannot physically meet them. Um, um, and I mean, what what are the factors behind the gig economy? Why did we arrive at to this point on which we need more, and we need to create this kind of gig economy based on freedom, on autonomy, and on self sufficiency. Maybe first, this is my those are my reflections, but I may receive some questions, or maybe like other ideas about it. But I think the challenge, uh, there is a better word in French, l'enjeu, but let's say the challenge is especially social in a way of the needing of socializing, the needing of being at least with friends, with family, the needing to be more free to do what you need to do to build your mental health, more than to build your bank account. So that's why I put it on social, and the first thing, because it's a personal, it came from my personal point of view. But it may not be, it may be more economical since the, let's say that, and this is also my point of view, that the whole economical system that is based now on on economists from the 20s, 30s, 40s, which they didn't live in this era of technology, of advancement, and they like thanks to Ford, we now use single cars instead of public transportation and electric trams. It's thanks to Friedman that we are now under creating a capital so you can sell your products. It's thanks to Friedman that artisans, or let's say the old British prime minister, that coal miners are in private societies, in private societies, that's French, in private enterprises. Yeah, it's more economical. It's about being it's more about being economically autonomous, but not without losing your social presence, your social persona, your without losing the little baby inside you that want to play guitar at 12 in the night. So yeah, technological, it's very obvious because we are in now in an era in which we can, even a truck driver can drive his truck from home. I mean, maybe also one day an AI driving it for him, but yes, that's my perception. Technological, because we now arrive at an insane data speed, an insane transmissioning of data speed, but also an insane um, speed of microprocessors and microchips, uh, um, internet for everyone, with the launching of the satellite by Elon Musk this next week for the internet from satellite. So yeah, that's it. Ecological.
Imed, sorry to stop you here. I just want to bring to your attention that we have less than 10 minutes for your presentation. So please take care of, I don't know, take care of the time. And I want to have like 5 minutes at the end for a few questions that are here, and I'm sure more questions that are coming. So if you want to take care, put that in mind, please.
Okay, so ecological, it was very obvious with the coronavirus. I'm sorry to pronounce that word. It's very, I start to become paranoid about it. No, I'm kidding. So ecological, it's that simple. Transportation, when you don't need to move, when you can do your job from your house, is uh, is not sustainable anymore. So that's it. There is a lot of criticism of the gig economy, like it's harder for full-time employees to develop in their careers by becoming the manager, but this is not very real, because you can surpass those problems, but also lack of stability and security for some people, the disrupt of the work-life balance, like the sleep patterns and activities of daily life. But though I faced those problems, but I could have surpassed it by just organization. And competition for gigs has increased too, which means that digital nomads were 3.6 million digital nomads in 2019. They just double it, like they became, it was like plus 100%. They became 6.4 in just 1 year. So yeah, the competition is increasing. So I wanted also to speak about the age of digital nomads, of those 6 million digital nomads on 2020. But this year they say that it's about 10.6 millions. Baby boomers are the person that lived after the Second World War, from 43 until 61. They represent 17%. The Gen X are the ones between 63 until the 70s, 81 exactly. The Gen Y, or the millennials, which represent 42%. That's where I am. I am the Gen Y. And the Gen Z, which is the new generation, are like 19%. But I think that the Gen Z is gonna be the biggest part of digital nomads in the next decade. Um, well, this was another like comparison about the salaries, but let me just recapitulate it. It's like kind of half they are having less than in office, but and half they are having all the same or the more than in office income. Uh, this less than in office, we need to understand that as a digital nomad you can work less, so that's normal for some cases to have less than income. So less than income in office means more time free, means more what you want to do in your life. But it's not, it's just to show you that although there is like this like vision of digital nomads are taking less, but no, at least there is half of them being wherever they want. Workation, as it's a new term to say work while you are in vacation. um, they are in workation, but they have the same and the same or more than in office. This is just to say those are this is, I took it from adventure travel, which they are like asking question to the travelers that are using their platform, and 36% of them are freelance for multiple companies. But I just wanted to say that 46 hours worked per week on average for the digital nomad is a huge number of hours. That doesn't mean that if somebody wants to be a digital nomad that he will do them. I do less than, no, let's say exactly the half or a little bit more with economical sufficient um, uh, uh, economical sufficiency myself. This is what I was saying about 3.2 million in 2019 to 6.3 million into 2020, just 96% of increase. And this is a study done by Harvard Business. So just to imagine the exponential, for mathematical people, exponential way of growth of digital nomads. Um, I wanted also to speak about how to become a digital nomad, uh, but maybe I'm just gonna go very fast because I wanted
Very
to,
fast. Yes.
yeah, I wanted to concentrate everything here, but I'm sorry, we just went with parallels. You just need to identify your skills, and this is why I put it in this color, because at social Hackers Academy, you
Academy.
are here. Yeah, Academy, you are here. You are like you are now trying to identifying your skills, and then this is the hard part of business in general, but of getting work, of getting a job. But you are here, so if you fix and you focus it all of your attention of in identifying your skills and then making them grow, and then just like redefine them, and then again identifying, but again until you reach like a, 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 a an utopic way of skillful IT person. So the other thing are very fast to learn and very accessible. You just need to search on it on Google. So the question maybe, and that's the last thing that I will mention here. Are we in a nomadic future? I will get back to the book that from which came the digital nomad term. They are saying that the 21st century will be the millennium which resurrects this dilemma, which has been dormant for 10,000 years. Humans will be able to ask themselves, am I nomad or a settler?
That's really cool. That's really really nice. Am I a nomad or a settler? I hope we see that. So I'm sure most of I assume you finished your presentation, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. So I assume most of the participants here are asking themselves, how did you land your first clients? Okay, you went to Fiverr. Great. Like how did you do that? How did you do SEO in your when you were writing your pitch? How did you actually found your first clients? Which is
Mm,
always the hardest thing to do.
yeah. Um, well, I will be clear. I got it on let's say the first platform that helped me to get my clients was Upwork, because for those who
Yeah.
exactly who doesn't know Upwork, it's kind of a big manager that find you a job and got paid for while you are doing the job with screenshots, with like screenshots that is taken from your computer with your consent, while
Your
you
consent. Oh yes,
yeah,
with your
exactly.
consent. Yes.
Exactly, but yeah, so then little by little, by learning a little bit about e-marketing uh, until getting inside it by not by chance, but by my programming skills. You got to understand the machine, the algorithm, and how it works, so you can just like highlight your skills and highlight your like the possibilities that you can do just by 1, 2, 3 words. As I said, trusting on internet is very hard, but with just one phrase you may gain the trust of the hardest person both on the earth.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So marketing is everywhere. Pitching yourself, pitching your skills is something that I think all of us could be doing better, but especially for our recent graduates who just are starting up, it's something that they just have to do. What I say, apart from Upwork and all these platforms that I absolutely like and propose for people to go there, just go physically somewhere. If you are in a metropolitan area, go and pitch people yourself. Go there, wear the best clothes you possibly have, put your biggest smile on, and start doing projects. Start pitching people, even for free, even or for a very low commission. Just build projects, build your portfolio. So we
Absolutely.
have an anonymous attendee here. Chris, I don't know how you did that. Please follow up and tell us how can you join us without us seeing you that you are here. So we have a true hacker maybe here. Zoom hackers, like this is technology. This is awesome. So this is in the Q&A. It's not in the chat. So here the anonymous attendee says, "Hello, Chris here. Nowadays, changing often your base due to Airbnb and other changes in tourism is far more expensive than having a base. How could someone cover the expenses of that lifestyle with an unstable income?"
My dear Chris, buy a camper. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Buy a camper,
Yeah.
install a 4G antenna. When you have money for your like gasoil, just move. When you don't, just pick a place on the mountains and stay there.
Or myself, I became a nomad about 7 years ago, 6.5, 7 years ago. And because I was just starting up my business, I had just had like a couple of clients when I left Greece. I went to countries that I could afford. I didn't go to Finland. I
Absolutely.
went I went to Southeast Asia, where the living standards actually was higher than I expected, but it was like around $1,000, which was barely what I was making at the beginning. So like I was breaking even. So there are always solutions. But sorry, allow me to add just this image, is that you have to have a growth mindset. You have to have your mind on solving the problems, not finding excuses to not do this. Find a solution. Go to the last village. I love the village idea. That's awesome. The camper also, although it might need an initial investment, which it might be hard. So yeah. Sorry, Imed, you wanted to say something.
No, don't worry, because there is like I may say that there is one 0.01 second like I thought that you finished it, but no, you didn't. So speaking about
Okay,
South
okay.
Asia, do you know that Thailand is the first digital nomad heaven of, they call it the Mecca of digital nomad, like
That's why
yeah.
that's why I went there. I went to Chiang Mai. Sorry, there is a bit of lag. So I went to Chiang Mai because back then it was the capital of digital nomads. It was uber cool. And then I was traveling in Vietnam, working from the forest with just 4G. Everything is possible, really. You can find incredibly cheap places if you're really up for the adventure. We have some more questions, or statements. Slim mentions that the first period is the hardest as a freelancer in order to get the first gigs, because you still don't have ratings, and that's why your portfolio is very, very important. That's for sure. And Selena says, thank you, Imed, for this presentation. It was great, honestly. You talked about really important things. And we tend to forget these life values as parameters when speaking about work issues. Thank you for reminding us their importance and showing the way to include them in our lives if we want. Also, if we can find you somewhere on social media and the book, of course, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna share the
So where can people find you? I found you LinkedIn. I
exactly.
found you on LinkedIn earlier today, so that's somewhere you can find Imed.
I will share my LinkedIn. And I'm sorry, but I now, for now, I am really far from social media, like the personal social media, the classic social media. I think the time that I pass on internet, I put it in my work, and when I leave my phone and computer, I kiss trees. It's better. It's better to yeah, than to slide and to slide and to slide.
Okay,
I will just
good for
answer
you.
Slim, please, because that's important, Slim, what you said, because you still don't have rating. And the answer is perseverance. Persevere for 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. Persevere until you get the result that you were trying to have. So yeah, perseverance.
Nick says absolutely thanks for the enlightenment. And I think Selena has been following us because she says something that I'm totally that person, which is a LinkedIn stalker. Yes, I am a LinkedIn stalker. I love LinkedIn. I like connecting with people professionally. And Nick says we do need to take a leaf of your page. We do need to take a leaf of your page, but unfortunately, business relies on it.
Um, I'm sorry,
Cool.
Nicholas. I'm gonna share my LinkedIn, but I mean, I use Messenger to contact my family. That's it. That's the only thing that I have. But maybe I have. Maybe I'm gonna share the website also of my my startup. Let me just share first the book. That's very important because this is the first book I spoke about. Um, but it's very important, especially for IT programmers, to understand the reflection of an old one that really did revolution in the computing.
Revolutionized.
Yeah, revolutionized the computing. The big Tsujio Makimoto. I always forget his name, but yeah, that's the book anyway. For LinkedIn, yeah, okay. It's
And
just scratch.
until Imed writes his LinkedIn, Selena, I'm not getting paid enough to become the model. You only get a presenter. So that's it for tonight. And you can find Imed in Imed Radhouani. Yes, awesome. Imed, thank you very much for connecting today and for sharing your energy. And I'm really looking forward. We should have a second part and dive deeper into your, allow me to call it, free spirit mindset, if you don't mind the term.
Absolutely.
Because you know, we tend here in Social Hacks Academy, we tend to talk a lot about the future, about money, about careers, which are of course important. It's part, you know, you need to have safety to get towards where you're trying to get, which is to get self-actualization. So I'm a big fan, and I'm very thankful for you being here today.
I am also thankful, very thankful for me allowing me to be part of your experience at Social Hackers Academy. I really respect what you are doing, guys, and I think that you are the person that knew their paths, and please just keep growing, keep continuing, and keep rocking in an IT world.
Cheers. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a lovely night. See you at our next event. Take care, Imed.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.